morning. It is really, again, a joy to be with you guys. I was so excited when Mickey and Jeff and Barb contacted me and said, hey, come on back. So I hope that this is finding everyone healthy, happy, and well. And of course, as always, if you're struggling, well, you're still in the right place, right? Because there's a lot of hearts here that will open up and share their energy and their love with each and every one of you. So I would like to talk today about the wisdom of insecurity. Now, some of you might remember this book by Alan Watts. It came out back in the 70s, late 60s. And so in the practice, the tradition that I'm involved in, there is a tremendous amount of wisdom that can be gained from when we feel insecurity or when we feel anxious or anxiety. So I kind of want to move and talk a little bit about those today. So let's all just take a conscious breath together, just breathing together for a moment. Hold that breath. And then just release slowly and feel the body relaxing, feel the body releasing as we come together, and just take some time to kind of explore our spirituality, our togetherness, this human condition. There is a tradition known as the Plum Village tradition, which surrounds Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh and his teachings. And one of the metaphors that they use very often is the metaphor of a garden. And I love this teaching. In other words, the mind is a fertile field that is filled with seeds. And the seeds of fear, the seeds of worry and insecurity, but also the seeds of patience, the seeds of happiness and joy. All these seeds are here in this field. So the question becomes, which seeds are you watering? And your life will tell you. You don't have to sit down and, okay, what seeds am I watering? Our life is a wonderful mirror that lets us know moment by moment what we're doing. Trouble is, we get so caught up in blame, so caught up in judgment, so caught up in them and us and separation that we're actually never present to be aware of what flowers are growing, what weeds, if you will, maybe are growing. What is it that we are nurturing in our garden? So if you are watering the seeds of anxiety, then simply take a look at your life. Are you always anxious? Are you always worried? That's what's grown in your garden. Is there always something missing? Again, that's what's growing in the garden, right? So as we practice awareness of the body, awareness of thoughts, awareness of feelings, we are truly practicing becoming aware of what seeds we are watering moment by moment. There's a great story in the Buddhist practice about this lady. The Buddha was moving through a village one day, and he came across this lady who was sitting by the side of the road crying. And so he stopped and he said, "Why are you crying?" And she said, "Well, I have two daughters. And one daughter makes umbrellas and sells them. The other daughter makes noodles and she sells those. But on the rainy days, my daughter that makes noodles can't hang them out to dry, and so therefore she can't sell them. And on the sunny days, my daughter who makes umbrellas, she can't sell umbrellas. And so I am so very sad for both of them." And of course, the Buddha then said, "Well, how about this? How about you laugh and are filled with joy on the sunny days for your daughter that sells noodles because she can hang them out to dry, and you laugh and you are filled with joy on the rainy days for your daughter who can then sell umbrellas." Now, I know this might seem like a simple shift, but the truth is, look at everybody right now. How many people have you talked to who are like, oh, now it's a new year. I can finally, do the things I've been wanting to do, or it's a new government and everything's going to be all right now. All this relief. How is that any different than the story I just told? When we are, looking at the external world and I can't be happy until this happens. I can't be happy until this happens. We're always setting up criteria for our own happiness. And that's never more obvious than when the criteria for happiness suddenly shows up. Oh, okay, now it's all right, as if it wasn't all right last week, or it wasn't all right last month. So as we take a look at what seeds we're watering, in the Buddhist practice, there's a saying that whatever you speak is truth, you also set up the opposite. So the moment, oh, everything's okay now, well, you just, when you set up okay, you set up not okay. When you set up beautiful, you set up ugly. When you set up right, you set up wrong. When you set up them, you set up us. So that's when we start to water the seeds of these opposites, and we don't even realize we're doing it. This may seem obvious, but in watering the seeds of expectation, we are no longer present, nor are we cultivating awareness. It's kind of like looking over the dog for the dog. While we are inattentive, gardens of anxiety grow. But that's not bad, because our life teaches us that we have been living in the future or the past. That's where anxiety can grow and can be cultivated. While we are checking our phone or our email, perhaps a garden of loneliness grew. But again, that's not bad, because it teaches us where to find true connection. Here. While we are asking, what do I have to show for 60 years of living? Well, a beautiful garden of yesterdaisies has grown. But again, that's not bad, because it teaches us that we are caught in comparing mind, judging who we were through the eyes of who we are now. And that's not fair. That will only lead to more suffering. And while we are watching the evening news, a garden of anger grew. And say it with me now, that's not bad, because it teaches us where we are passionate, where our boundaries are, and what is ours to do in the world, if we are aware. But so often we're caught up with, where did all these weeds come from? And, who put these here? And how did this happen? And, oh, I'm always doing this, connection with the past, focusing on those things. Instead, all the while that we spend our waking hours worried about the weeds and how they got here and who put them here and how to get rid of them, all the while splashing buckets of water everywhere. So as you can see, even the quote-unquote bad things offer us an opportunity to wake up. You see, the truth is, we can't do life wrong. It's not possible. And there's no such thing as a bad emotion. Are some of them painful? Yes. Are some of the things that we witness and notice around us that are going on, are they difficult, challenging, and painful? Yes. But all of these things are teaching us something if we have the presence to be aware of it. You see, The wisdom of insecurity is that we have been seeking refuge, identification with external events and things. The wisdom of insecurity and anxiety, if you will, is calling us home. And the way home is not around, over, under. The way home is through. We have everything we need to wake up. We always have. We have our community. We have our teachings. And we have awareness of our true nature, our Christ nature. All those teachings about seeing, the log in your neighbor's eye or the speck in your neighbor's eye when you can't see the log in your own. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. When you watched the raid on the Capitol, were you filled with anger and hatred? Or were you filled with compassion for our brothers and sisters who are so filled with fear and so filled with delusion that they have to project that onto the external world? And then it feels so much more empowering to break windows and to bash down doors and to carry signs than it does to stop and look inside and be with your own fear and your own delusion. As we purify fear, as we purify hatred within ourselves, as Jack Kornfield said, when you cease the war inside, you halt the wars outside. They are us. Anytime you've ever been angry with someone, there you are on the Capitol steps. Anytime you've ever been afraid of something that may happen, there you are on the Capitol steps. So, what we are offering to the world is awareness. Instead of watering the seeds of fear, anxiety, anger, hatred, and separation, we offer to the world an opportunity to cultivate the seeds of patience, the seeds of understanding, the seeds of compassion, the seeds of union, connection, coming together and understanding our true nature. So I'd like to close with this poem by Derek Walcott, Love After Love. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart. Give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror and sit and feast on your life. This coming home, this coming back to ourselves instead of being caught up in what they're doing, how they're creating the world, wrecking the world, building the world, whatever you want to put in there. All of that is a trap. The allure of the external. And when you notice it, that moment that you notice that you've been filled with blame, with judgment, with anxiety about the future, regret about the past, in that moment is a moment of celebration. It's a moment of awakening. People often ask me, you Buddhists talk about waking up. Well, what are you waking up to? And I tell them the dream of thought. We're waking up to the presence of this moment, to the aliveness of this moment. When you are present, there is nothing to do. There is nothing to add to yourself. There's nowhere to go. There's no person you should be or shouldn't have been. None of that exists because it's all delusion. Presence is the joy of and love of the life force that has inhabited this body and knows no bounds of time, knows no bounds of skin. And when you know yourself, as the poem said, that's when you know who everyone else is, because we are not different. Thank you all so much for being here together. And so let's take a few moments now to move into meditation. So I don't want you to try to grapple with the talk. Just feel whatever opens your heart, to feel what fills your heart with joy and gratitude, and express that. Let it fill the body and move out into the room. So go ahead, and if you meditate with your eyes closed, let's do that. Go ahead and go within. If you meditate with your eyes open, then the invitation is to soften the gaze and allow the periphery in as you kind of see the world in a panoramic way. And let's take 3 breaths together. Holding that breath and then releasing slowly. And as you release, allow the body to relax. Become more gentle, spacious, and light. If there is tension, imagine breathing through that point as if you could breathe through every pore in your skin. And another conscious breath together. Holding that breath for a moment and releasing slowly. And as you release, become aware of any thoughts that might arise. Just let them come and go. Touch them ever so lightly and return to your breath. Or maybe it's a sound. Touch it lightly and come back home. Or perhaps it's a sensation like an itch or the feeling of cold or hot. Again, touch it ever so lightly and return to the breath. 100,000 times is not too many times to come back to the breath, to come back home. And a third conscious breath together. Holding that breath for a moment and releasing slowly. And as you release, we fully arrive in the present moment. We share this moment with the entire universe. All beings, all things are in this moment. It's when our mind darts to past and future that we create separation. But here, in presence, there is complete union, connecting with each other in consciousness, energetically, and in the present moment. Let's rest here for a few moments. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and simply know. Be still, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and simply know. Be still, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and simply know. Be still, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and simply know. Be still, So taking a conscious breath together, holding for a moment and releasing slowly. And as you release, be present in the here and the now, in this time and this place. Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to turn it back over to Mickey and Jeff.
Victor, amazing. I'm still trying to have compassion for the folks that were at the Capitol, but it's a wonderful struggle.
Yeah, it's a beautiful perspective.
Yeah.
The whole talk was a beautiful perspective.
Oh.
Embracing the polarity, I guess, is kind of what I got. And I just
Yeah.
appreciate you so much. I think I've said it before. For me, you're just like melted chocolate or melted butter over something, you know?
Now I
you
know what
so
I can
much.
type in there. I'm going to change my name from Victor to Panache or Nestle.
Nestle,
Victor Robo.
maybe Nestle. All right, I just want to do one thing here to give you some other things about Victor. And we're going to go. Not yet, no. I would like to move it along. Oh, come on. There. Thank you, Victor. Yay.
Oh, thank you guys.
Victor, are you selling CDs yet?
There's some CDs available somewhere. Yes, I think they're like on my Facebook music page has this access to those CDs.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Yay. Everybody knows that Victor is director of the Temple Buddhist Center at Unity Temple. And lots of other good stuff. So Victor, once again, thank you so much.
My
I
pleasure, you guys. Thank you for having me.
You can come back every week. Well done. Every other week. All right.
Thank you.
Isn't that the beautiful thing about, the one of the things from this quarantine? I